Well, from Chris Cuomo fighting fires to Bill de Blasio's short-lived run for Congress, there's a lot of news coming out of the Big Apple this week. And who better to weigh in than the man who made New York great again, Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Mr. Mayor, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you, Jen. Nice to be back.
Great to have you here. So I got to get your thoughts on this. Ex-New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, he ended his congressional bid this week. But first, let's listen to what he had to say.
It's clear to me that when it comes to this congressional district, people are looking for another option. And I respect that. And I just want to say I love the people of this city. I really want to keep serving, and I'm going to find a different way to serve.
So that really didn't last long, Mr. Mayor. He was only in the race for 2 months. I think people definitely do want another option. I'm surprised he's figuring that out now. You know, we can add this to the list of the Hall of Shame of other fails that didn't last too long. You see on the screen Kim Kardashian's 82-day marriage to Chris Humphries. There's also the failed CNN Plus, and now Bill de Blasio in that circle. He said he's going to find another way to serve. Should New Yorkers take that as a threat?
Please don't. He, without any doubt, I think, would be universally thought of as the worst mayor of New York City by both Democrats and Republicans. I mean, he really ruined the city. He was handed really the best city in America by Mike Bloomberg. New York City had for about 15 years in a row, we were the safest large city in America. I remember in 2000, we were on the front cover of Time magazine as the best example of urban renaissance, and Mike kept that up until Bloomberg. I mean, after Bloomberg kept it up until the very end, until he came along, and it's a disaster now. The budget is 3 times what it used to be. The school 4 times. The failure rate is tripled. 37% increase in crime even since he left. He had a 50% increase in murder. The homelessness problem went from about 30,000 to 70,000. I mean, and our budget is over $100 million. The budget of New York is more than the budget of the state of Florida. Of New York City, it's more than the budget of the state of Florida. You imagine the amount of money that we're wasting. His government was corrupt. His government was incompetent, and his government fostered the crime wave that we're going through right now. That Mayor Adams, unfortunately, is having a difficult time handling.
He is. And, you know, de Blasio came in like a wrecking ball. It's not seemingly getting any better. It seems to be getting worse by the day. But I want to get your take on another story that we reported on last night, where it was revealed that former CNN propagandist Chris Cuomo, he applied to be a volunteer firefighter after he was fired for coaching his brother through a sex scandal, of course. But it turned out that this was too time-consuming for him, and he withdrew his application. I mean, I don't know what else he could be doing since he's out of a job other than posting selfies on Instagram. And I wanted to ask you, you know, since you've had a great relationship with New York firefighters, especially in the wake of 9/11, what does it say about Chris Cuomo that he applied to be a volunteer firefighter and then backed out because it was too much effort?
I don't know. I mean, it's a really wonderful thing to do if you're. I mean, Chris looks like he's in great condition, so I wouldn't imagine that that's the problem. But that's a wonderful thing to do. I mean, in New York City, it's a professional fire department, but in the suburbs, most of them have volunteer fire departments with a few professionals, and they are really excellent. They're very, very good. And I have no idea why he teased around with it and then dropped out of it. But CNN looks like it's really completely fallen apart. I don't even know if anybody watches it anymore.
They are crumbling. There's no question about it. They say they're trying to get back to journalism. I don't know if that day will actually come. I think they're too far gone. And Americans are done. There's no bringing them back. But I want to ask you, Mr. Mayor, it was also a sad day in New York. I know a friend of yours, Ivana Trump, she was laid to rest today. She was obviously an iconic, infamous New Yorker. Talk to us about any memories that you might like to share with us.
Well, you know, I have many, many memories of it. One memory I have goes back a bit. It's when she was running the Plaza Hotel. You know, she and the president, then Donald Trump, owned the Plaza, and that was really her. That was her baby. I mean, she really spent a lot of time there. And one day I was having lunch there, and I could overhear these young girls talking about a book called Eloise, who goes to the plaza all the time. And this young girl was all excited about the different places. And when she came up, I said, Ivana, this young lady loves the plaza. She said, oh, because of the book. And she knew the book. And then she spent a few minutes with us. And then she took the two young ladies on a tour and brought them back about 30 minutes later. I mean, she's really a fine person. Just a very, very kind, good person, and very, very smart. Brilliant, actually.
Yeah, such an icon. It sounds like you got to know her well. And of course, a lot of people, perhaps maybe some of the media, surprised to see that former President Trump and his wife Melania showed up as well to pay their respects. So really says a lot, especially after they went after the Trump family and they like to say how disrespectful they are, but clearly a family that is very close-knit and they, of course, love their mother. So.
You really have to respect the fact that the children, now no longer children, turned out so terrific, given all the problems.
Indeed,
it had to be
you're so right about that. Mr. Mayor, we've got to run, and I'm sorry to cut you off. We love having you here. Come back soon. Greg Kelly, another great New Yorker, is up next. We'll see you tomorrow night.